Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host Matt, and with me this week is...
Hi, I'm Eli. I'm alive and here to talk to you about Nintendo.
You sounded confused there for a second. You're like, I'm alive? Yes.
I'm
You're a
still
clone, aren't you?
So.
You're a clone trying to pass off as the real Eli. You bastard. So before we jump into what we've been playing this week, there's a bit of a notice. So because the summer's a slow couple of months for video game news, so these episodes are probably going to be shorter. And Unukle's busy this summer, so probably up until the end of August, maybe September. So he might be on once in a while, but not so much consistently. And then Mike is whenever he remembers. So it's probably going to be Eli and myself for the most part for the summer and doing some
So we're looking for a replacement Mike is pretty much what Matt's saying. If you believe you can be a better Mike than Mike can be, please reach out to us.
Yes, if you can get angry. Actually, no, I would like having guests on. If anyone's interested, I might look into getting some people on these next couple of months. But if you're interested, message me at the Mango Viking on Twitter or on IGN at Shmuga9. That's SHMUGA9. And yeah, just message me there and get back to me. Don't message the Just Another Castle podcast Twitter, because I don't technically run that. Flea does. So if you messaged him, I may not get it unless you tell him to message me at the Mango Viking, but you might as well just message me directly. But since that's out of the way, let's get on to what we've been playing. So I actually bought a new game this week, two technically, Transformers, Transformers, because that was on sale from like $65 to like $16, and I'm like, crap, I may not play it just yet, but if I don't get it, like this is the only sale it's had so far where it's been this low. It's only been like $40 on the other sales or something, so I'm like, crap, I'll buy it, it's cheap enough. I haven't gotten into that, I want to. It still looks really good. But I bought Heaven Megamix. And,
ooh, yeah. I am very interested in that game.
Yeah, so I've only played the DS one. The GBA one was Japan only. The Wii one I didn't get. And then I think there was another one in there somewhere. Maybe not. I think it was just the 3. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was the 3, and then they said they were adding new songs. So those were the 4 bases they were covering. But I don't know. I really like the DS one, so I kind of came in hoping that kind of level, and I'm kind of I don't know if miffed would be the right word, but a bit disappointed. Mostly because the song selection and a couple other things, but I'll start with what is good about it. I can't really speak too much about the song selection from the other games because I only obviously played the one, so I don't know if your favorites are returning from the other ones or not. They all look new to me, except for a couple of the Wii ones I recognize. But some things they added that I don't think was in the Wii one because it didn't have a second screen was making it easier in a good sense. So the one on the DS was really hard for a multitude of reasons. You could only get 3 different, I guess, scores if you want to call them. It's either you failed the game, you got an okay rating, or you got superb. And it was really hard to tell how you gauged like how well you did in the game, because you could think you did really well and you get an okay rating and like, what the heck is this crap? Like that was a hard song. I did it really well and I still only got okay. But in this game, they actually have a bar so you can see how far you got close to the superb and okay rating and fail. So it's like anything over a score of 80 points is superb. It's just a nice visual cue to be able to tell rather than getting pissed off because it sounds like the game just randomly gives you a random rating. But the bottom screen also does another important thing, which is it helps you with timing. So if you tap on the screen, there's going to be like a little explosion effect on the bottom for every time you tap. And how it works is the closer it is to the middle is the closer you are to hitting it at the right point. So if I hit it at the exact point, it'll appear in the middle and have like a colorful explosion. If I hit it too early, it'll appear on the left side of the touch screen. If I hit it too late, it'll appear on the right side. So, and this actually happens all in real time. So if you notice you're tapping the screen too early, you can, obviously force yourself to slow down, or if you're doing it too late, you can force yourself to speed up. So I think that really helps.
Or you can just keep going the wrong way and be happy with your life.
Yeah, and then just...
You don't have to give in to the man.
And then just screw up eventually anyway. But I think that's a really good feature. And then the same thing in the practice mode. If you screw up too many times in the practice mode, it actually breaks down the beats the way a music staff would be. So you would have the 4 notes at the top and then another 4 at the bottom. And then it'll show like at which note you would actually tap the screen. So it just makes things easier that way, and just more streamlined. So you don't really get confused as why you're not doing so well or why it's not really working properly. So now for the negatives. So the songs have fewer actions this time. So in the other games you had 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, which is just how fast you tap it or on the beat or whatever. Then you could flick the screen, or you can tap and hold the screen. And songs could use up to like 3 of those variations. And it made it a little bit more interesting and a little bit more complicated. But I've noticed with this one, they only use 2 different types, and it's really just tap once or tap 3 times in succession, and it kind of gets repetitive. I mean, it's a rhythm game, and you're tapping on the screen, so I mean, technically, I guess you could say all of it's repetitive. But they, for whatever reason, decided to remove the flicking the screen aspect out of it, because one of the games called Glee Club, in the DS one, you made your character like roar at certain points by flicking the screen. And then in this one, they took it out, and it's just you tap and hold it, or just tap at the right time. And I know it sounds stupid, but when you actually play the game, it makes it a lot more repetitive and just doesn't feel as good. And I tried flicking the screen like when I was supposed to, but you still need like a second to get your finger back on the touch screen, so you can still kind of screw yourself up by doing that. And that actually affected their song choices, because other than that, which I knew used the flicking the screen part, the other songs didn't choose any other songs that used that feature, at least from the DS one. So there were a couple other cool songs from the DS one that used that feature, but they just decided to throw them out of this one for whatever reason, which kind of sucks. I don't really understand why, but that kind of miffed me. And I think that kind of affected, like I said, it affected the song choice, and I think they could have chosen like better songs to put into it. But the last thing is, you can get other songs, but the way of getting them is really grindy. So if you beat a challenge, which is either get a perfect on a song or beat one of 3 specific songs, or beat 3 specific songs, you'll get 1 orb. And each new song that you can unlock, not the main quest, but the unlockable songs, cost like 5 to 10 orbs. So you either have to play 1 song on perfect or play 3 songs just to get 1 orb. So you have to play, I don't know, like 15 songs to get like 1 free song. It's utterly ridiculous. I don't know why they made it that annoying to get. And then I guess the last thing is they... so in the main quest you have a bunch of songs, and then they have... I guess remixed versions. Sorry. So they bring back a bunch of songs and give them new versions of those minigames, and then they have classic versions of those songs from the other one. And it seems like rather than introducing actually new minigames, they just updated the other ones with new songs. And I think I don't know, it kind of seems lazy. Maybe it's not. It just seems like, oh, I played this song already. Now here's a different version of it. It's like, no, give me a new one. Like, it's not as fun to do that. So, I don't know. If you like the demo, and you don't think it's still a fun game. If you haven't played it before, I'd still recommend it because it's a bunch of, jumping in for the first time, a collection is always good for you. And if you like the demo, since there's a demo, I'd say just go for it, because it's not like Nintendo's going to really put a discount on it anytime soon. But if you've played one of the games before, and if the demo seems a bit easy for you, you may not enjoy the game. You'll probably want to look up what songs are actually in it before you actually buy it, if you want to replay those songs, because you'll miss a bunch of songs in there. But that's my rant. Did you want to say anything?
No, I mean, I'm interested in the game. I didn't pick it up because I'm sure it'll be on sale at one point for like $15.
Yeah.
And I don't like buying digital games, and the fact that it's not available physically vexes me. So that's why I'm holding out. Otherwise, I probably would have bought it already. If it was a physical release, I probably would have already bought it.
Yeah. Speaking of coupons, I saw someone posted what they got for a birthday coupon from Nintendo, because their My Nintendo thing, they're like, oh, we'll cater it to the customer's demands, and everything wraps around the customer and what they like and blah, blah, blah. And it turns out it's a bunch of horse crap, because someone showed the coupons and it's like, here's coupons for like 10 specific games and they're all at least 2 years old. It's like, come on. Get with the program. If you want us to actually buy these games, give us either a store-wide like discount or coupon or something like that, like something we could use for any game, or apply it to any game on your shop.
See, your flaw in logic here is that you think Nintendo cares about you.
I know. But the thing is, they know that the main people owning Wii U's have like all of these first-party games already, or most of them. So, like, what's the point? You might as well...
What are you talking about? There's so many games on the Wii U. How would I ever find time to play first-party games?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how coupons actually work with other companies, if you have to strike a deal with them or not. But Nintendo has enough first-party games on there. They could just say you can use it for any first-party game, and there would still be enough to choose from. There would likely be something someone wanted that they could get with it.
That would be too easy.
Yeah, I know. I saw a Kirby coupon on there. I'm like, oh, is it for the new one? No, of course it's the one from like 3 years ago. Anyway, I've been rambling enough. What have you been up to besides lying down and sleeping?
Dude, I forgot you brought up Kirby. I forgot I played Triple Deluxe like 2 months ago and beat it.
Oh, nice.
Like I think I talked about it on the show, but like I completely forgot that game existed, even though I just beat it. So, thank you for that. I played. So I already talked about Tokyo Mirage Sessions, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I beat 2 games in the last week. I beat Inside and Quantum Break.
Oh, cool.
Both are Xbox One games.
Yeah.
And so I guess we'll talk about Quantum Break first. So Quantum Break is the weird game that has a TV show in the middle of it, and you'll play like for an hour, and then you'll watch a 20-minute TV show.
Yep.
It's interesting. I thought the TV show is better than I thought it would be, but still like not important. I feel like it didn't really need to be there. And the story itself was a little bit too... Okay,
bland.
To be fair, I wasn't giving it like my undivided attention. I was definitely like off in space somewhere while the story was going through, and I don't know whether it was the story's fault or mine, but it was a little dense. Like, I came away with not a complete understanding of what had happened. Probably my fault, but...
Why, did you skip the cutscenes or something?
No, I watched them. I just wasn't like really paying attention to what was going on.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. I like the gameplay. I thought the shooting was fun. It was actually like a pretty fun game. Like from a gameplay perspective, I thought the various abilities you had, like the grenades. It wasn't a grenade. It was like this time bomb which would freeze the enemy in time and then explode. I mean, it was like these cool abilities, and you had these time dashes which allowed you to dash around the battlefield. It was actually like the gameplay itself. I actually kind of enjoyed, and I wish that there was more of it. So.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty cool game, and I heard it got like somewhat mixed reviews.
No, I think on the review scale, let me check really quick, but I think it did not bad at all on Metacritic.
I think it got like between maybe 6.5s at lowest and then like 8.5s at highest. Like
it's about a 70.
An okay to great rating.
About a 77 right now on Metacritic. So
yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's worth playing if you can get it for cheap. My brother bought an Xbox One to have at the home because mine was at university, and his came with Quantum Break for free. So
nice.
I didn't have to pay for it. I just kind of played his copy.
Nothing wrong with mooching.
Yeah, well, he always mooches off me, so for once, literally the first time it went the other way around. The other game I played was Inside, which is the game that just came out for Xbox One from Playdead, which is the developer of Limbo. And that game is really something. I wrote an article, which I think published today, just kind of like, was it so good? Because, like, it's not particularly fun, and it's probably, like, even less gamey, I would say, than even Limbo. And if you played Limbo, like, that's a puzzle game pretty much. And Inside is pretty much a puzzle platformer, but even less so than Limbo is. And so it's kind of hard to really justify. It's like, why do I love it so much? And it's not super fun, but it's just the way it's designed mechanically is very, very good. Like, you'll play and, you know, there are no directions or anything. Just figure stuff out, and you'll, like, die, and you'll revive it. Maybe I gotta try something differently. It's like playing for the first time because you're figuring stuff out like a child, which is the way I kind of described it. And the people flipped out because of the ending, and the ending is properly disturbing, I would say. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Well, I mean, Limbo, spoilers, I guess, for like a 7-year-old game. You figure out like you were dead, correct? Like you were part of your sister's dream or something like that?
Well, no, I mean, nobody knows. I guess it's all up to your interpretation. I don't know if anyone could really say for sure.
I think the consensus was the kid was dead.
Okay,
or died or something. That's all I recall. But
yeah, so
it wasn't a happy ending, at least.
Yeah, no. Inside's ending is interesting. It's very open to interpretation. There are some theories out there, like there's a secret ending that I watched. I didn't actually go do it. I watched the YouTube version of the secret ending, which does lend some insight a little bit to maybe what that theory could be, and the message the game is trying to convey. But it's very atmospheric, and unnerving and unsettling. It's not so much about the story, but more about the emotion and how it's portrayed, and the fact that, like, the game stresses you out, and you feel it's like, why am I stressed? I'm playing a video game.
Yeah.
It's not particularly hard, but for some reason I'm stressed out right now. And I feel like that's like, it takes a very particular skill of a developer for them to do that. And it's not like they're throwing you in this ultra hard boss battle. Like, that's one way to stress out a player. It's not a jump scare. Like, that's another way to stress out a player. No, it's like, genuinely, I am unsettled by what is going on screen right now. And I don't know really why. And it's good in that way. I like how open the interpretation could be. Like, I know that there are common themes. Like, there are people that are like, this really reminds me, for example, of, 1940s Nazi Germany. Like, this is what it reminds me of. But I don't think, and although the vibes are there, I don't think anyone could definitively say yes or no, it is or isn't. Especially once you start making your way through the story, it does kind of detach itself and become a little bit less quantifiable, like nothing really of this world, and more something that it's like, wow. So it's hard to describe. I don't want to spoil anything, especially not any more than I've already said, but I'd say I think the game is coming to PC. It's worth playing through. It's about 3 hours long, so it is like one of those games that you pay $20 for, and it's pretty expensive by the hour. I think we're all used to getting a lot more bang for a buck, but you could probably replay it. I might replay it in a year or something. I think it's worth it. The game's very good.
Interesting. You like it. It's not fun, but I recommend it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of what games. So I part of my article was like, why are games so good? And why do we like them? It's like, yeah, they're fun. Some games are really fun, and that's why we love them. But I feel like what makes games stand apart is the fact that, you got this interactive element.
Yeah.
And it's really, the developers have an opportunity to make you empathize with the character and what they're going through. And most games don't take advantage of that. I mean, even looking like at a game like Zelda, which is, in so many respects, the peak of the pinnacle of gaming, right? Do you really feel like you're Link? I mean, sure, you're exploring this world. It's really cool. The puzzles are ingenious. It's really fun. But do you really empathize? Like, do you really feel what Link is feeling? And are they really conveying, I mean, other than maybe running on in Breath of the Wild to the cliff and seeing how big the world is and just standing in awe, like, are they really conveying that to you in the way that they could be? And so I feel like it's maybe also just because of how short the game is and the way that they're able to do it so concisely. But, the way they're able to evoke this sort of feeling in you is really close to unparalleled, I feel. And it's going to be really hard. Because it's really like you're in the shoes of this boy. So, yeah, I mean, it's not particularly fun, but it's just kind of one of those things I feel like you should play through.
So basically, if you like Limbo, check it out.
It's better
than... Okay.
Actually, I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's different than Limbo, even though it seems similar.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you like that style, at least.
Yeah.
Cool. So the couple of things were announced this week. Super Mario RPG is coming to the eShop. There's a new Professor Layton game in development. I don't know much else about that. It's probably
That's not Layton 7. It's another one.
Okay, so is it a spin-off then?
No, well, they had it. So a few years ago, they announced Layton 7, which is, I think it's coming to iOS and 3DS.
Yeah.
And then that we just kind of assumed that was the next game. And then they announced this one and said that this isn't Layton 7. This is something entirely different. This one isn't coming to iOS. It's just 3DS, I think.
Weird. I guess it's a spin-off then, because it wouldn't really make sense to do two sequels back.
I don't know which one is the spin-off, because Layton 7, that sounds like mainline because it has a number after it, but it's coming to iOS, so I don't know.
Huh. Okay. I don't really know what else to say about that. There's the final Splatfest for Splatoon is coming, and the teams are Callie versus Marie. So, as people are calling it, it's the waifu war. So, I think that's at the end of this month. So prepare for that. I don't know why some people were thinking like Splatoon was going to be done after this, which doesn't make any sense. And Nintendo had to tell people like, no, we're still going to do updates. Calm down. Like, it's an online community. They're not going to cut it that quickly. Just look at Smash Brothers or Mario Kart. I don't even think many people are playing Mario Kart much, and that's still up. But moving on, the developers of Hotel Dusk have a new game coming out this fall on the eShop. It's called Chase Cold Case. It stars two detectives investigating an explosion from 5 years ago after a mysterious caller tells them that it was apparently a murder. So if you like that kind of detective-style game, be on the lookout for that one. And Azure Striker Gunvolt is getting an anime, apparently, which is really weird because Mighty Number 9 was set out to be like the main game that Inti Creates was making. And then they announced,
turned out that Mighty Number 9 sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, it was funny because that was like the main Mega Man game that studio was making, and then they were supposedly going to have an anime and supposedly a movie and all this other stuff. And then the side project, which was Azure Striker Gunvolt, that they were doing on their own, ended up doing better, getting 2 sequels and now a show of its own. So it kind of like took over the role that Mighty Number 9 was supposed to take. And it's just really weird and interesting to see. And that one wasn't even crowdfunded. So...
Wait, Matt, are you telling me that if you make a game that's good, people will like it?
I know. It's shocking.
Man, this concept.
I don't know. As far as Mighty Number 9 is going, I think a lot of people have a good point that they were trying to do too much at once. Like, they tried to put out a game on, like, 9 consoles at once or something nuts.
Undoubtedly.
So,
I mean, that was... I mean,
I don't think that's
was...
Yeah, I don't think that's the only problem, but that's probably a big problem, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and now on to the news. So this one is really interesting. Scott Moffat, the vice president of sales and marketing, is leaving Nintendo. But not only is he leaving Nintendo, Nintendo is actually closing that, is dissolving that position altogether, and the role will be split among their current staff. So, I don't even know what to say to that. It's like, Nintendo, you need better marketing. What? Let the one person go and then just not even replace their position? Okay. It's like, no. What are you doing? It's not right. I don't know. I don't know if I would trust staff to be able to I guess the staff would know what their game is like and how they want other people to see it, but I'm pretty sure you still need like a marketing head to know what the heck to do.
Nah, marketing's for losers. The real way you know if a game is a success is if you can make it successful without marketing. That's how you really prove your point.
Just hand out pamphlets on street corners.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know what to say to this. Scott, they try to make him a figure at one point. Like, they try to make him a thing. I got his Mii, I think, probably on my 3DS somewhere.
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't work out, and the Wii U didn't work out, and I don't really think Nintendo's marketing could get that much worse. So, I guess it just... You'd think they know what they're doing because they screwed up so badly last time. But on the other hand, they probably have no idea what they're doing. So I don't even know what to make of this news.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't sound good to... Like, he's leaving of his own accord. They said it's amicable circumstances, whatever. He wanted to leave. Fine, he's not being fired for anything. But it's just like, don't you need someone to be in charge of this? Like, I know the last guy did a poor job, but I mean the guy whoever was before that with the Wii obviously did a fantastic job. So doesn't that show that you should have at least someone marketing? I don't know. It's really weird. Someone posted images on Twitter of it where it shows Scott's bio and it said his favorite Nintendo character is Mega Man, and then they zoom in on like the Mega Man part of it, obviously because Nintendo doesn't own Mega Man, and then the picture after that is like Scott Moffat leaves Nintendo. Anyway,
yeah.
Moving on. Nintendo's not going to be at TGS, which is not surprising because they've never been there before, but they will be at Gamescom. So,
which isn't surprising because they're there every year.
Yeah, so it's two opposite scenarios. So even if they did want to show off the NX, like Sony might be showing off the Neo at TGS anyway.
No way.
September. No?
Maybe.
Isn't it supposed to come out by the end of this year?
No.
It's not?
I'm pretty sure that's a 2017 console.
Huh.
Wait, maybe not. Maybe, wait. PS Neo released. You might be right. I might be completely off.
There's no actual, like, set in stone date, but I had the suspicion that...
I think it is this year. I think you're right.
Okay.
The problem is, man, why would they do that? I'm not buying it.
I guess they figured Microsoft was going to release theirs this year.
Yeah, but Microsoft's building a more powerful console that's coming out next year, and it's going to be better. Why would you...
I don't know. I mean, there's not enough concrete details on it, so they may just postpone it if they want.
I'm just going to stick to my nice PS4. Although, I don't know if you saw, Matt, I was looking, PS4, 4K TVs right now are actually pretty cheap. I saw one for like $350 for a 48-inch 4K TV.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap. It's just, I wonder how many people are actually buying them.
Well, I think the reason people aren't buying them is because there's no need to, but if you've got now consoles that support it, and the TV is only like $350, that's a pretty good proposition, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people just need to be like convinced somehow.
Yeah, sorry for going off topic.
No, that's fine. That's on topic. But yeah, so I'm assuming they'll show the Neo at TGS in September or their PlayStation event, whatever the heck that is. But Gamescom is in August, so I don't know. Maybe I can't really see Nintendo showing it there, but they might have like a direct before the event, and then at Gamescom they have.
There's no way they put an NX on the show floor of Gamescom. Like, that is not the place to show that. Like, I bet you.
I know. E3 was supposed to be, but they didn't do that either. So.
No, but E3's a different type of show than Gamescom. Gamescom's a public show.
Yeah.
350,000 people go, as opposed to 50,000 for E3. It's literally not only 7 times the amount of people, but maybe 10 times the amount of floor space. It's a ludicrous amount of, like, the amount of space Nintendo has at Gamescom is probably like 4 times as much as it has at E3.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So I think that it's not the place to show it. I think there might be some behind closed door stuff because there is a business part of Gamescom. There's 2 halls just for business, so they should do a lot of that stuff. So I'm sure they'll show it off to business partners and stuff. It's not that. I bet you what happens is I'd be willing to probably put money on this over Gamescom. I bet you Nintendo has its own event in like September in Washington, like Seattle or something. Maybe New York, but probably Seattle. Where they reveal it and show it off to the press and everything. It's very like, we're going to control how you see this thing.
Yeah.
Because Gamescom is very open. I don't think that that's the safest place to show off a console like the NX for them.
Yeah, I didn't even think about them doing their own show. I guess I figured it's not usually in their cards. But
no, I mean Nintendo does their own events all the time.
Yeah. I mean,
they do it.
Yeah, they do some for games, I know, but I guess I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't really register that they could do that for a console. But, yeah, that makes more sense, because then they don't have to worry about other people talking about other consoles anyway. Because, I mean, there's no... Like, this is probably one of the other... Gamescom and TGS are, like, the last 2 big events before this thing supposedly launches in March. So, I mean, they would either have to do it on their own or at these events. So if it's not at these events, they'd have to do it on their own sometime.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I bet. I don't think that, I mean, they're running out of events now.
Yeah, well, they're running out of time.
Showed up freaking Comic-Con. Like...
Yeah. PAX already came and went, correct? Is that in the fall?
One of the PAXs did, I think. Why they wouldn't show it off at a consumer show?
No.
Why would they do that? So yeah, no, I bet you it's their own event. I mean, I can't imagine why they wouldn't.
Yeah, they're also running out of time. I mean, assuming they're not doing anything in August, or in July, they have like 6 months until the thing releases. It's like, hurry up! It's like, what are you waiting for?
NX legitimately stresses me out. Like, that thing comes out in what now? 9 months, 8 months? We still know nothing about it, other than the fact that it's probably a pussy console. So I don't know.
Like, if you want to avoid an event, like, don't wait a whole month after an event. Just wait like a week or 2, because then the news will blow over by then.
They're deathly afraid that someone's going to take their idea.
Oh gosh, the thing is, even if someone wants to take their idea, if someone wants to take your idea, they're gonna take it, regardless. Yeah. They did it with the Wii, so I don't know why they're being so secretive. But if it's something like the handheld console hybrid, like no one's gonna bother with that. Sony isn't gonna do that because the Vita failed. So why the heck would they try that again? And Microsoft, they're not gonna. They never made a handheld before. I'm pretty sure they've said they have no interest in making a handheld. And they already have Play Anywhere, which is targeting the PC market, which is likely bigger than possibly the handheld market. So there's no benefit for them. So literally no one is going to bother. Your only competition would be crappy handheld Android things that I'm pretty sure are all but dead now. Because so many people made them and they just don't work out. So, like, I don't know what they're waiting for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stressed out. Do you have this other piece of wonderful news about their Wii U sales expectations?
No. Oh, it's like 800. I'll let you explain it.
Oh no! Well, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but
Okay.
there was a Q&A session for shareholders,
Yeah.
And Kimishima we've known, a long time ago when the Wii U first launched, before it launched, was not like hype on the Wii U.
Mhm.
He didn't think it did enough to set itself apart from the Wii. Didn't think it would sell as well. And so he was asked about that at the recent shareholder meeting, and he kind of backtracked. He was like, I wasn't that negative. But what his quote was that someone projected that the Wii U would sell 100 million systems worldwide,
Yeah.
and Kimishima thought that was ludicrous. And, he was right. But this was making the rounds this morning because Nintendo was freaking crazy. I mean, Iwata was delusional at this moment. May rest in peace. I'm sorry and all that. But the fact was, they expected to sell 12 million units in a year. Remember? And they obviously didn't. It's barely sold 12 million units.
Yeah, in like 4 years.
And I remember when they didn't meet sales expectations the first quarter after it launched. The first quarter wasn't too bad, if you remember. The quarter after that, that's when it really like shit started hitting the fan. I think they sold like 50,000 units a month or something. It was bad. And Iwata, they went in, and usually at this point, companies revise their numbers. They're like, oh well, we're not going to hit 12 million units. Maybe I was wrong. And instead, I remember they like stood fast. They didn't revise anything. They were like, oh, we're going to make up for it in the remaining 9 months of the year. And it's just, no, you're not.
Yeah.
So
that's ridiculous that they set the same expectations of what the Wii achieved, as if, oh, this other thing did go good. This thing is going to do literally the exact same sales numbers. It's like, that's insane. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
and
seriously.
Kimishima's comments were basically like, yeah, you can't expect the people to just automatically jump over. You have to tell them why they should bother jumping over and not just stick with what they have, which is entirely true, because at that point they ended up going to the handheld or the smartphone market anyway. So Nintendo seems to be in better hands than it has in the last while, at the very least.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about the Pokemon revealed. Did you look at them?
Oh, yeah. They look better, I guess, than when I first thought. If you remember, I thought the starters looked a little bit silly. I think they look a little bit better now. The new ones that have been announced. Well, what do you think?
I like them for the most part. Aside from the starters, because they're kind of cool, but also kind of like fan art-y. These new ones that they revealed look much more in line with this series and remind me of when they shut off X and Y's Pokemon. It's just, I think they fit really well in the Pokemon universe. I don't think there's one that I really hate. The fish one is kind of ugly, but like that's kind of expected from fish Pokemon anyway.
Yeah, well, even the... Let me look at these designs again. Right, Pokemon.
Here. Send you the link.
Sun and Moon. I'm so excited to see all these new Pokemon again. Alright, I appreciate you for sending that over. I don't appreciate the fact that my browser decided to open Edge to look at that. Okay, so I'm going to give you a rating of each of these Pokemon, okay? Rockruff is a solid 4. Okay, we got
what scoring system is this? Out of 5?
Out of 10. Okay.
Ouch, a 4.
I mean, he's cute and all, but what is this Pokemon? It looks like a freaking dog.
Yeah.
And let me add to that.
Or not a starter.
There are already too many dogs in the Pokemon world. Okay.
But it's a rock dog.
Okay. Until I see his evolution, maybe his evolution's gonna get him a boost or something. Okay. Yeah. Then of course we got Kamala, which he looks like a cutie buddy koala bear. As far as I'm aware, there are not very many koala bear Pokemon.
I don't think there's any actually.
So I like this one. I like Drampa. Okay, Drampa I give a solid 9 out of 10.
Oh my gosh. I like him.
He looks like a stoner dragon. Okay,
his eyes
he
are
looks
pink
like a
too.
hippie stoner dragon.
He's got the smile going on. He has pink eyes. I think it's cool, but the pink eyes, like with no pupils, it's what's really like weirding me out about this.
No, oh my god, he looks incredible. Okay, I'm gonna retweet this guy just because I'm so happy about how this Pokemon looks. Looking at it again, so we're naming this guy the Dragon Stoner Pokemon.
We'll have to come up with like a stoner name for it. Apparently, the name is just Dragon and Grandpa together.
I mean, his name Drampa already sounds pretty dang. Then you got this Cutie Fly. Now, Cutie Fly looks adorable. Like, they managed to make a mosquito or bee or whatever this thing is like adorable. I'll give it a solid 7. The problem is this little thing that it evolves into, the Charjabug.
It doesn't evolve into that.
Oh, wait, this is a separate Pokemon?
Yeah, so Grubbin was one of the first Pokemon they showed, and then Grubbin evolves into Charjabug here.
Oh, well, thank you for correcting me. I'm supposed to be the Pokemon expert, but okay. So Grubbin already looks terrible. So Charjabug is just an extension of this horrendous. I don't even. What are these eyes? What is?
Yeah, they're like I don't know. Someone said LED displays. I don't know about that. Its eyes like light up. It has the Captain Falcon like triangle eyeballs that lights up, which is kind of funny.
Matt, let me be clear. If I saw any of these other Pokemon, I would probably throw a Pokeball at them. Try to capture them, take them home. If I saw a Charjabug, I would freaking squash it. Okay.
It is a weird Pokemon. I'm not like crazy about it.
Now, wait, does that evolve into Vikavolt, or is Vikavolt different?
No, it evolves into that.
Okay, Vikavolt actually looks pretty cool. I approve of Vikavolt. I give it a solid 8. Okay, so Charjabug's like a 3, Vikavolt's like an 8.
Nice.
Now, I don't understand why they needed to make another fat-ass electric mouse. This one literally looks like it's about to topsize at any moment. I don't know how it's standing up on its own 2 feet. It looks like it's going to fall over.
I know.
I'm not a fan. Give it a 6. It looks cute, but this thing is going to fall over. Like, its weight cannot sustain its weight. It needs to go on a diet.
The Pikachu clone Pokemon are like cute, but I don't like how they don't evolve. I'm just not going to use it if it doesn't evolve.
Yep.
It's just like Dedenne or however you pronounce it. Like, I thought that was cute, and I wish that evolved. It didn't, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not using that.
Let me tell you, when I played Pokemon Emerald, I actually leveled up. My second best Pokemon was a Plusle. Or
Really?
Was it a Minun? I think it was a Minun, yeah. I had it along with, my main was Blaziken, and then my Minun, I got up to like level 70 or whatever. So.
That's weird.
There you go. The more you know. So Bruxish looks terrifying. These lips. I think it's the lips. I think in the eyelashes. The whole Pokemon. Like, why would you make a Pokemon look like a fish Pokemon? Look like a woman. I'm very terrified of this.
And the sharp teeth doesn't help with it. It's like, I have lips, but I'm gonna bite you.
Yeah, this looks very scary. I don't think I'd want to be in the same room as this Pokemon, to be quite honest with you.
People were saying, like, I think it's like not. It's ugly, but I don't mind. But I think it still fits well in like the Pokemon universe. Like, to me, when I see it in game, it looks like a Pokemon that fits in that universe versus some of the black and white Pokemon look kind of out of place.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Still looks freaky. The last one here, the Tabukoku.
Yeah.
He looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like I only noticed right now. I didn't realize that those were coconuts as wings, but that's pretty rad.
It's actually part of like this tiki head thing. Like in the trailer, he actually shows himself where it's closed on himself, and it looks like a bird, like a bird totem pole head. And then
Matt, how am I so out of the game? You got me one up on all this.
It was in the trailer.
I know. I watched the trailer. I don't remember it.
All right,
okay, but yeah. So I like. Okay, so initial impressions on Sun and Moon Pokemon designs were these are lame.
Mm-hmm.
They have been amended. I'm more satisfied. There were only maybe like 2 or 3 Pokemon I really can't stand.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking this as much as I liked X and Y's Pokemon when they showed it off. So I'm glad they're like continuing that trend of, I don't know, whatever design philosophy they were going for. I don't know, whatever they did in X and Y, it seems like they're carrying it over here somehow, and I like what they're doing. My favorite, I pretty much like all of them. The koala bear is really cute, and the dog, I'm sure, is going to be something cool. But the last one, Tapu Koko, is like the coolest, I think. He looks like he could possibly be the like signature Pokemon character of this generation, like Lucario or whatever it was for the other ones. And it's hinted that he's one of like 4 island guardian sort of things, so somewhat legendary status, but maybe not officially. But I don't know. I think it looks really cool. I'm liking this gen so far. Hopefully they don't piss all over that. Moving on, there's not too much left. Nintendo said they're researching VR, but they won't use it until it's mainstream. And I think,
Thank God they know how to make one good decision.
they need to know how to make a good console first, and online infrastructure, and all this other stuff before they can delve into VR. And I think Pear brought up a good point on NVC, that if Nintendo does VR, it's probably going to be like a Google Cardboard sort of thing, where it's just like, here, you hold the handheld up to your face and then it works that way, versus making an actual like dedicated VR machine like Sony or something, because I don't really see Nintendo going that far. Even if Nintendo did make like a console as powerful as the PS4 or whatever, I don't see them making like a hardcore VR machine.
Let me tell you right now, Matt, I will be thoroughly surprised if PlayStation VR turns a profit. The amount of R&D that went into that thing, the amount of money they spent on it, developing it for so many years, they're going to make, I don't know how much profit they're going to make on each of those things, but I can't imagine it's that much. I don't imagine any reality in which they turn a profit on that thing. Like, let's say they make $20 on each one. And that's like, for hardware, $20 is good. Like, usually they lose money on hardware. Let's say they make $20 on each one they sold. And they sell 3 million. That's a 10% attach rate. I would be very surprised if it sold 3 million, let me just tell you. But 3 million, $20, there's no way they made that. Like, there's no way they break profit on 60 million of revenue, on profit or revenue. There's no way their R&D was less than that amount. I mean, I think it's very smart for Nintendo to avoid it. They're going to let all the other companies figure out how to make everything run well. You know, wait until the third-party support comes to VR. Wait until it's cheaper, and then perfect.
Well, just waiting to see if people actually adopt it, because I think that's the big thing. I think it'll be a cool product that like works well, but I think ultimately it's a niche product that most people aren't going to buy, because the average consumer buying consoles are people who come home from work and they just want to sit down and play some average games online with their friends, and that's about it. Not enough people are going to say, hey, I want to buy this VR thing and close myself off from everyone else and not play with my friends or anything like that. Like, it's a very insular, gamer-only kind of device. And unless you could make it like $100, it's not going to pick up. No one's going to say, oh yeah, I bought my PS4 for $400. Oh, this other VR thing, yeah, it's cool, but I don't want to pay a whole other console just for this one thing that works on like maybe 50 games and only like 3 of the games are worth anything. Like, it's just, there's just not enough there. And I know there's some decent third-party studios making games for it, but I don't think it'll be enough, to be quite honest.
Yep.
And as far as Sony pouring money into things that don't really turn out, they did that with Gaikai. They bought them for, I don't know, how much was it? Like
$500 million.
Yeah, $500 million for Gaikai, which was just to stream like old PlayStation games. I forget what that service is.
Okay,
called.
by the way, that service...
I don't even think that... I haven't heard like anything about that service, so I don't think it's actually done all that well.
That's actually a good question. I wonder... The service actually isn't too bad. from now, I think anymore. I think it's now like $10, $10 a month for unlimited streaming, which is really affordable. That's $10 a month. You can stream whatever you want from their catalog. It's like Netflix.
Because before it was just per game, right? Like
before it was
$10
per game
to stream one game, and you only have it for like a certain amount of hours, or something stupid. Yeah.
But now it's like now it's a lot better as a service. It's a shame that they're not like promoting it, because that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for it to be like that sort of service. And maybe I'd actually be willing to pay for that right now if they actually like made an effort at convincing me why I need it, you know?
Yeah. They should, I don't know, they should advertise it, because I still think people probably think you have to rent per game. And when it first launched, like the prices were too high, and you either didn't get enough time, or they were for games where you could beat it in like 2 hours, and it's like, okay, well, that was a waste. So if you can just pay $10 a month to stream whatever the heck you want, like that's infinitely better.
Yeah, it is. And there's a good catalog here. I'm trying to find the price. It's 3 months for $30. So it is about $10 a month. I wonder if they have a year. Their year is probably $99.99 is probably what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad at all.
No. I mean, I think it's probably the same price as PS Plus, so.
A little more expensive than PlayStation Plus. PS Plus is $60.
Oh, right, yeah, you're right.
But still, I mean, yeah, you have access to a ton of games. I wonder how well it works. See, my fear is like the lag, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on people in other areas too, right? They may not have a great connection, so it's like it's not worth it. But, I mean, for the most part, you're going to be advertising to people in North America, so there's at least a decent connection. I don't know.
Yeah.
They should make an effort to do something about that. Like, come back in a big way. Because I don't think anyone remembers them, so might as well. But moving on, Miyamoto says we should probably see a new kind of Mario in a year or two. So, I still think... I don't know. I thought they were going to have a Mario game at launch, but maybe not, because he said something like, oh, you should see it at like the next E3 or the one after that. So I guess it'll be like a year one launch game, possibly.
Well, as long as they got their first year, you know. I think that as long as they got the games coming, it doesn't matter what order they come in, you know.
Yeah.
If they've got... You gotta, you know, Retro Studios games probably like done. If that's Metroid or whatever it is. They had that at launch, you know, you put Zelda at launch, you put, probably have Smash Bros. Remastered or whatever at launch, and then maybe one more game, Pikmin at launch. That's 4 heavy hitters, right? And then you follow up with one a month after that. Once again, it's going to be about the third-party support. I mean, release all the first-party games you want, but at a rate of one game every month or two, you're not going to be able to keep up when other studios are pumping out when other platforms have games coming out way more often than that, you know?
Well, also just the other big games. It's like, can I play the new Elder Scrolls? No. Can you play GTA? No. Can you play, I don't know, Dishonored? No. It's like, okay, well, why am I going to buy this thing, right? Like, it's not enough for the average consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they fix that. Yeah. And I guess the last piece of news is Nintendo's looking for an engineer with experience in current engines like Unreal 4. Now, Unreal 4 can technically run on, I think, mobile platforms. It's supposed to be like a scalable engine, but currently it doesn't run on the Wii U. So hopefully this denotes that the NX is easier to develop for, or is stronger in some capacity, or better for developers where they can actually use this program. I don't know.
Yeah. We should know better. Don't get hopeful.
Yeah, I know. Possible good signs, but I'm never holding out hope, because they could just, like the Wii U, they're like, this is for gamers, and then like 3 months and they're like, yeah, that was a bunch of bullshit. It's like, oh, thanks. Thanks for all that PR garbage. I guess one last thing that was kind of stupid. The GM of Nintendo of Canada said we'll get NX news this fall, apparently. Which I certainly hope so, because it comes out in, like, by that time it'll come out in 6 months. So either they'd have to delay it, or they're gonna have to give us news by that point.
Matt, can we stop talking about the NX? It just makes me sad.
I know, but there's no other news. It's all, well, hey, at least it's not a rumor. It's not like, hey, the NX will revive like your dead grandparents or something, or the NX is gonna solve world hunger, or the NX is gonna give you a back massage or something. So there's at least that to be happy about this week.
Oh, thank God, it won't give me a back massage.
I know. No false hope this week, as far as what this thing is capable of. We already went through that last week with Ubisoft and whatnot. Jeez. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, that quote from the Witcher developer saying, "Oh, he heard someone say the NX is awesome." Yeah, it was part of a stream where he's joking around. So that quote is null and void. So lower your expectations once again. But that's all the news there is this week. So you can find me at the Mango Viking on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And where can people find you, Eli?
Find me on Twitter at Paulo Salon. On Nintendo Enthusiast, you can find my writing. And actually, this is something I want to consider for a little bit, for people to ponder. As I took a gander over on the Destructoids, and they've got a little blogging platform over there. I started publishing some of my stuff on the Destructoid platform, like stuff that I would usually put on my IGN, but since my IGN is dead, I don't really. And maybe give a slight suggestion that maybe one or two of you should check out the Destructoids and see if you like it or not, because there's a nice little community there. People read each other's writing, comment. It was nice. People.
Are there more than 3 people that will read an article?
Yeah, I mean, there are upvotes and stuff. Articles get upvotes and stuff based on the community members that read it. There are, comments. I think there may be like 7 or 8 blogs posted per day by people. So it's more active than my IGN.
Yeah.
So maybe check it out. Maybe a suggestion. Because I miss people. I miss you. I miss talking.
But we talk every week. Talk more. Exactly. Yeah, I think Mike was saying before that people comment more on blogs and on Destructo too, because he's been posting stuff there for years. So, I don't know, maybe a couple of us should move over there and start, or at least post on Destructoid as well, since apparently there's more people reading stuff there.
I'll upload you.
Cool. I'll think about uploading you, maybe, possibly. No, I'll definitely upload you. So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, and IGN. You can leave us a question or comment, and we'll see you next time in Leave Gaming to Nintendo.